Ryan Garcia to fight Francisco Fonseca on February 14th, Valentine's Day in LA. Probably going to go to this because Valentine's Day is overrated. And it gets me out of actually having to do a date with anyone that I talk to, be forced to. Ryan Garcia, Fonseca, thoughts on this fight, Gary? I don't like it. I think this is one of those fights that's a prime example of shitty matchmaking that is the norm in boxing.
It is awful matchmaking. I mean, this is there's a 130-pounder who lost to both guys he fought. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, you can't find at least a real lightweight. You got to move up a 130-pounder that nobody cares about who lost both his fights. Like,
but look, you're gonna get Sergio Mora and Todd Grisham or whatever fucking jack off on the DAZN telecast going, yeah, but Fonseca, he went rounds with Gervonta Davis. He went rounds with Tevin Farmer. Great barometer, great test for the young Ryan Garcia who's still working on things. Blah.
All right, then do it in the gym. Do it as a sparring session, and then again, this fight. But this is the problem. This is why, like, a guy like Hector Tanahara, who has all world skills, right? But like his style isn't really gonna make people jump at seeing his fights. Kind of needs to get away from Golden Boy, right? Like, because this is not.
Quickly,
his talent.
Hold on. Before you jump into this rant about Tanahara, Heath in the chat, because I know you're probably still listening or you're going to listen. I know you have a drinking game where when I say digress or digressing, you take a shot. You need to add Hector Tanahara to the list. Not Figueroa, not Ortiz, only Tanahara. Because I guarantee you, motherfucker, you would be drunk off your ass every show if that is like in the drinking MCR game. Just saying. Back to you about Tanahara fighting Ryan Garcia. Which, I mean, no, you're right. Much better fight than Fonseca. I mean, you can literally match him up here with almost anyone that we talk about on a regular basis on this show in the lightweight division, and it's an exponentially better matchup. But this is the old way of doing of matchmaking for a prospect. Match them up with guys that are 100% beatable and have only lost to people you know. Right? You're muted, Gary.
Yeah, I mean that kind of is, the name. I mean, I don't know. Like, he fought on one of the biggest cards ever, Mayweather McGregor, and then he fought Tevin Farmer. The fight is so stupid. Like, it's so dumb. It's like, I feel like you're just getting lazy. It's like, who's someone with a name he can beat? Who's that guy? I think he's from Chile that fought. Yeah, get him.
Who's the guy that Tank beat on that that Mayweather in that MMA fighter card?
Fonseca? Something like that sounds right. Get him. What's his quote? All right.
Fonta? No, that's a soda. That was the conversation at Golden Boy headquarters, guys. Verbatim. Quote us on that, please. Reporters, breaking news, sources, sauces. Okay? That's what they said. That's how they made that matchup. Golden Boy's trash, as Art Alexander in the chat is saying. Co-sign on that 100%.
I like Golden Boy fighters, and I was a De La Hoya fan back in the day.
Oh, I know.
I don't want to say those words.
I love a lot of the Golden Boy fighters. Even guys like Rashidi Ellis. I absolutely love these fighters. Eric Gomez and Oscar De La Hoya, not so much. I'm not a big fan of those two guys. Just being honest, I think they do a lot of... Like, what have they done lately? Other than Oscar being coked up at press conferences, mispronouncing names, Eric Gomez shitting on his prize prospect. Like, what have they done? Even like Kathy Duva is exponentially better than De La Hoya and Eric Gomez.
We never got to have that conversation about Kathy Duva and Lou DiBella making it to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's right, because I don't think you're on that.
I don't remember.
I don't think you ended up being on that show or something for some reason. You're out of town.
Those things where, like, there's a prolonged career of mediocrity make you a Hall of Famer, right? Like, if I just play for 20 years and just kind of okay for 20 years, Like, have I accumulated enough stats to be? No, I mean, it's supposed to be a Hall of Fame. You look at the best fights made. Kathy Duva and Lou DiBella aren't involved in those fights. Like, they shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Like, they can be in the Hall of Very Good, but this is not the Hall of Very Good. Like, this is the Hall of Fame. This is
The Hall of Very Good. I think, I don't know about mediocrity. I think there's a lot of value in having a regional scene and promoting through that. Like, obviously, Lou DiBella's club shows in the tri-state area on its own, I think, own merit to the Hall of Fame because, like, I see value in that, for example. I'm trying to think of, like, other people that do club shows often.
Joe DeGuardia does the same thing. You want to put him in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Just a great example. Yes, I do. Because I think that, like, you're talking about somebody that has, in a large way, been the foundation to the pro ranks. Because the regional scene is the foundation to the pros. You can argue the amateurs are as well, but that's an unnecessary sidestep. When you're in the pros, you start on your club show. You start at a local casino. You start at behind some barn or a club, wherever. You know, like that's where you start. And the people that make it, Peltz is another good example, Russell Peltz. I think all those guys deserve a lot of credit. And Hall of Fame is the body that gives credit out, then give credit to those men or those people. I think Kathy Duva, maybe because she's kind of taken over the business only in a relatively short amount of time, does that one kind of seem iffy? You know, I would have maybe inducted her 10 years down the line, to be honest. Not right now. Just my personal opinion. But like Lou DiBella, the guy was on HBO and helped run HBO for close to a decade. That in of itself is massive. And then he also helped bring up the tri-state club scene and help build that up and rejuvenate that to a degree. Where I would say Lou DiBella club shows are still some of the most accessible club shows in the tri-state area. So there's value in that. I understand your point, Gary. I'm trying to make a good comparison. I to stick in ball sports is hard. I just went to the Baseball Hall of Fame a few years back, trying to think of a good comparison. Whenever I do, I'll bring one up to you. It's like, it's this guy or this thing. What was that?
Have you been to the Boxing Hall of Fame?
No, I have not.
It's not far from the Baseball Hall of Fame, probably an hour and a half drive. Like, it's not that far. Like, the Baseball Hall of Fame is mesmerizing, right?
So
like,
nice.
You go to the Boxing Hall of Fame, it looks like a house. And then in the back, it's really cool. There's, like, the ring from Madison Square Garden that they used for, like, 90 years. Like, it's crazy. It's the same ring. And they put it, like, because Madison Square Garden used to actually be, like, in Madison Square Park. Like, and then they moved it to, like, Penn Station. Like, but they used the same ring, right? So it's like they give you a list of every single fight that was, and it's like every name from like Game Corbett to Miguel Cotto fought in this ring. That ring, it's really crazy. But like, it literally looks like a house. Like it looks like a house turned into an office. Like that's the Boxing Hall of Fame. And you compare it to the Baseball Hall of Fame, you're like, what is this? This like
money.
Yeah, it is. Like, and I love boxing, and I like Hall of Fames and museums like that, dedicated to sports. But like I'm in and out of there in like 2 hours. Like, okay, the Baseball Hall of Fame is like a weekend trip. The Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I spent a whole day there. In the Baseball Hall of Fame, like a whole day inside that thing. That thing's massive.
The Boxing Hall of Fame is like, you're in and out like 2 hours, and like I had to like look at everything. But they had this one cool thing where they had molds of everyone's fists who's in the Hall of Fame, and they had Lennox Lewis hand right next to Willie Pep's hand. It's like these things are the same species. Like Willie Pep.
I understand that completely. As a 5'9", 135-pound guy, I've shaken the hands of a lot of giant heavyweights in combat sports. Deontay Wilder, for example, John Jones, Cain Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos. A lot more UFC heavyweights, it seems, surprisingly. Daniel Cormier, Stipe Miocic. Different species. Like, I would never fuck with those people. Like, I talk a lot of shit, but, like, in real life, no, not to those people. Oh, they could step on me and kill me. No, that's not happening. They're giants. Literally Goliath. If you meet like some of the super tall heavyweights, like the 6'11" guys, it's not fun. Dominic Brazil, another guy I've met, massive motherfucker. Pause. Different species, completely. What else? 92 saying 5'9", the size of Canelo. Actually, Canelo's 5'8". People, he's 5'8". He's for sure 5'8". He's not 5'9". But he's also 5'8" and 190 pounds of pure muscle.
When you're that short, you like to add that extra inch. Oh, I was 5'8" and these shoot. You know, it's one of those things. It's like,
no, look, I know when I'm taller than people.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've been next to Canelo a few times. I'm taller than him. Like Spence is my height, for example.
About 5'9", 5'10".
He's definitely not 5'10".
Now he's listed himself as 5'10", but
He's 5'9".
And it was like Usyk lists himself at 6'3".
But like Crawford and Spence, same size.
Yeah.
Same with like physique too. Like I think people like chalk up Spence being a far bigger person, and maybe balloons up outside of camp. But like I remember being in New York and walking down the street with Spence, and then Crawford came down the other way, and I was like, oh, "Bye, Spence," and started walking down with Crawford, and they're the same size. So I mean, I literally got a side-by-side comparison with them on the same street for the Thurman Garcia weigh-in, I believe it was. I was hanging out with both of them. But digressing from that, don't know how I got on that topic, but Ryan Garcia, Fonseca should be a tune-up showcase for Ryan Garcia.